Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com, on Roku, Dwyer Boxing, and Sports News. Look up my real estate practice, too, at dwyerrealty.org. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. You know, there are a few lines out there that absolutely stun me. We'll get to those in a minute. Let me just say, though, with regard to political talk, just for 30 seconds, with regard to the American presidential race, there's a suggestion that Jon Stewart moderate a presidential debate. I think that's inspired. I'd love to see it, but let's go one step further, right? Because great comedians are really social commentators, right? It's not all laughs. There's a lot of seriousness. I'd love to see a debate with Amy Schumer as the moderator. Let's see how Donald Trump deals with a woman who's actually ready to talk back to him, right? I'd love to see, too, a debate with Chris Rock as commentator. I think that legacy media has taken us to where we are today. I think there's a need for more insightful commentary. Let's include comedians in the political process. All right, now let's talk about Vegas lines that absolutely astonish me, where I think there's value. Understand, too, I can think a guy is going to lose a fight and still feel that the bet is so compelling that I have to have some money on that side of the ledger, right? Now, let me say this. Floyd Mayweather's left hook lines up perfectly with Andre Berto's jaw. Also, even critics of Berto will point out that Berto's offensively blessed. He's explosive, right? Berto fights can change quickly. Look at the Josecito Lopez Berto fight. So, right now, Las Vegas, and keep in mind, even money is plus 100. In other words, I bet 10. If I win on a plus 100, the casino gives me back the 10 I bet, and then it gives me another 10, right? So I double my money on even money on a plus 100. Understand right now the under 11.5 rounds, right? The under 11.5 rounds for the Mayweather-Berto fight is going off at a plus 180. Right? Just understand, styles make fights. Mayweather's left hook is lethal. Understand, Berto's been stopped by left hooks. Look at the Soto Caras fight. Right? Berto's only chance to me is going to be hyper-aggressive with Floyd. I think the plus 180 on the under 11.5 provides compelling value. I hope you give it a look. Let me say this, too. The David Lemieux, Gennady Golovkin fight, or Gennady Golovkin, we're not too invested in pronunciation here, right? To me, is a fight between two sluggers, right? A lucky punch can land from either of them. Either guy can get dazed and confused. Now, when the casino's giving you a plus 700 on either side of the aisle in a fight where both guys have a puncher's chance, I think that's something you need to at least throw beer money on. You're getting a plus 700, believe it or not, on the Lemieux side of the aisle. Right? Think about it, a plus 700. So you could literally hedge it easy, right? Take Lemieux just to win. That's plus 700 based on today's odds. Today's August the 25th. And you could hedge the play with Golovkin by KO, because I don't see this fight going the distance, right? So just food for thought. Let's talk about another fight that's a bit of an eye-opener for me. Now, I know Matthysse is legit. I vividly remember taking Lamont Peterson over him and then watching Matthysse drill Lamont Peterson. He has a big punch, no doubt about it. But has anyone looked at the hand speed on his next opponent, Victor Postol? Think about it. Postol's hanging around the pocket against a big-time slugger in Selçuk Aydin, right? A KO puncher. And he dissected him. Now you're going to give me a plus 190? Not even money. You're giving me a plus 190 on Victor Postol? A real opponent for Matthysse? Let's just say when I see a hand speed differential this pronounced, right, I think this bet makes itself. I don't even believe you have to be Einstein on this one. If I walk into casino and they're giving me a plus 190 on Victor Postol, okay, I'm going to take Victor Postol. Then I'm going to hedge the play with Matthysse by KO. Why? Because that's what Matthysse does best. Let's get real, too. If the fight goes to a decision, if Victor Postol's still on his feet at the end of 12 rounds, how is Matthysse going to even remotely approach his volume? Right? So, at these odds, and we're talking about actual odds, Victor Postol at plus 190. My recommendation is to take the plus 190 because we want to beat the casino. And I'm going to hedge the play with Matthysse by KO. Also, here's another fight. And I understand everyone, a few big names disagree with me. Okay, it's fine. Golovkin's trainer, Abel Sanchez, disagrees with me. He's taking Canelo. I understand Nacho Beristain, Juan Manuel Marquez's trainer, disagrees with me. He's taking Canelo. Okay, fine. But wow, this bet makes itself. You know, if you're someplace, if you're out shooting dice or whatever, standing in line for a burger at a fast food restaurant, and someone says, hey, they're offering greater than 2-to-1 odds. They're offering not a plus 100, they're offering a plus 210 on Miguel Cotto simply to win the fight. You have to say, hey, excuse me, fellas, I need to go to the casino right now. You're telling me in a fight, in my opinion, that Cotto should win. The casino's going to give me a plus 210? Oh, sign me up. No need to put a bow on the package. You know, here, I don't even have to fool around with props on Cotto. You're giving me a plus 210 on Cotto. I'll take Cotto just to win the fight. Plus 210. In other words, I show up at the casino with $100. I bet that 100. If I win, they give me back the 100. Then they give me $210. So I entered with 100. I leave with $310. Right? Here, I think the bet makes itself. It's Cotto to win the fight, hedged with Canelo by KO. Right? I know Canelo has gotten more gifts than the kids have at Christmas. Right? I still maintain he lost that Erislandy Lara fight. I still maintain he lost the Austin Trout fight. But I gotta say, if this fight goes 12, I'll be surprised if they give it to Canelo. Right? I think Canelo has a puncher's chance. That's it. Right? So, I'm going to take the plus 210. Then I'm going to take Canelo by KO. I believe I beat the casino on that one. Now let's talk about Con Mayweather. Right? Then I'm just using this as a preface to Con Pacquiao. Let me say this. I believe Con would have given Mayweather all he could handle. Let's be blunt here. Right? And this is my opinion. If you look up the records and the commentary, it may or it may not agree with me. But I believe Amir Khan has faster hands than Floyd Mayweather. I believe Khan wouldn't have to follow Mayweather to the ropes. I believe Khan could have played it like Jimmy Young played it against Ali. And hell, it's my video, let me just say it. I thought Jimmy Young beat Ali. In other words, you're fighting a guy who's defensive. The guy goes over to the ropes. You stand in the middle of the ropes. You stand in the middle of the ring. You look at him. You just say, hey, I'm here to fight. Why walk away from me? You know, I'm not following you over to the ropes. right? I'm here in the middle of the ring. We'll see how the judges scored this bout. We'll see who the judges feel is trying to avoid the action here. Right? Let me point out, too, Jimmy Young, forgotten by history, beat George Foreman. But I'll just say this. I believe Khan, faster hands. I believe Khan wouldn't have to follow Floyd over to the ropes. I think Khan knows how to use length. So this would be one of those scenes where Floyd's bending away. Khan would be pumping a jab. He wouldn't have to get up on Mayweather. I think Khan has a problem with guys who can smother him. Right? Lamont Peterson did have the better second half of their fight. Right? Marcus Maidana did have the second half of their fight. Guys who are front foot heavy who could follow Khan. Right? I thought Chris Algieri beat Khan, quite frankly, following Khan around the ring. Who's the last fighter Floyd Mayweather followed around the ring? Right? Mayweather's defensive. He's not offensive. Right? So I do think styles make fights. I think Khan's style would have given Mayweather all he could handle. But aren't things different when we talk about Amir Khan against Manny Pacquiao? Now let me say this. My comments here are going to assume that Pacquiao's shoulder injury is fully healed. Right? That the shoulder injury is really more an embarrassment injury. Right? He got schooled by Floyd. Right? I believe every fighter has lingering injuries. Right? Sergio Martinez had a lingering knee injury. Andre Ward had a lingering shoulder injury. Right? A lot of guys have hand problems. Floyd Mayweather has tender hands. Right? I believe any fighter, after an embarrassing fight, can say, you know what? Just like football players, let me get this lingering injury fixed. Right? Well, put it this way. Obviously, Khan beats Pacquiao if Pacquiao comes in the ring with only one good shoulder. Right? But if Pacquiao's healthy, I think Khan would have all he could handle with Manny Pacquiao. I understand the guys have sparred before, but I think Pacquiao would give Khan a harder time than Floyd Mayweather would. Right? Because, let's face it, both guys are fast. I'd say both guys are faster than Floyd Mayweather. Right? Khan doesn't have a noticeable speed advantage. Manny Pacquiao at his best is offensive and runs red lights. Right? He's a guy who sees another fighter setting a trap. He doesn't care. He dives in. We saw that against Juan Manuel Marquez. Right? Manny Pacquiao dives in. He's front foot heavy. He's coming forward. Understand, the fact that these guys sparred in the past might actually make Manny more complacent. It might convince Manny that he doesn't have to figure out Khan. He knows Khan. He's going to dive in on Khan. Now, we saw recently in the Chris Algieri fight that Khan has a problem. Even though Khan's blessed with hand speed, he has a problem with fighters who are hyper-aggressive with him. You heard me mention Marcus Maidana earlier in this video. Right? So to me, Manny Pacquiao would almost certainly go for a KO. This would be a different fight than Luis Collazo. This would be a different fight than Khan against Devin Alexander. Here, Khan would be dealing with a guy who is coming after him with a punch. Right? This is different than Chris Algieri. Right? Khan would know if Pacquiao lands, Pacquiao is a big puncher. Right? I'll just say, I don't have a good read on this fight. Right? I get the feeling that Manny Pacquiao would be going for a stoppage. Understand, too, there's bad blood. Pacquiao's a gentleman. Pacquiao never owns up to bad blood. But you got to be kidding me. I'm Alpha Dog at the Wild Card Gym. Some young fighter I gave an opportunity to is going around telling people he could kick my behind? No, 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 no. Pacquiao can smile. Pacquiao can be diplomatic. Pacquiao can be a gentleman. Trust me, Pacquiao views Khan as a youngster he gave a break to. Right? If you don't think Pacquiao has attitude, what about his corner? I'm telling you, Freddie Roach as a fighter was a badass. Had a temper on him. Right? Here, they'd be fighting a guy who used to be a Freddie Roach protege. One of the guys Freddie Roach used to train. And he left Freddie. Then he gave a series of interviews where he said, look, I have to learn more defense. Right? He goes and joins Virgil Hunter's team. You don't think Freddie Roach doesn't want to send a statement? So let's just say this. I thought Mayweather schooled Pacquiao. I think Khan would give Mayweather all he could handle. Let's take the next step, because boxing is rock, paper, scissors. It doesn't always make sense. I think Manny Pacquiao against Amir Khan is a tougher fight for Khan than a fight against Floyd Mayweather. Right? I don't know who wins Khan Pacquiao. This may be a who gets their first fight. But I guarantee you Manny Pacquiao would show up thinking stoppage. Right? I get the feeling Pacquiao and Roach would be surprised if the fight made it to the 10th round. Right? Now, Khan is best when he surprises you with his hand speed. What happens if you've sparred with him already and you've seen his hand speed? Right? Don't fall for the optical illusion of a relatively immobile Luis Collazo getting spanked by Amir Khan. We know Manny Pacquiao is not immobile. Right? Khan doesn't really, although Khan has punching power, he doesn't really set traps like Juan Manuel Marquez. Right? I would say, too, he can't really hide himself like a shorter Timothy Bradley can. These are the guys who gave Manny Pacquiao problems. And let's just say I don't think Khan has the chin, right, of Brandon Rios. Right? So, Khan Pacquiao, I think that's a close fight. I think that's a real close fight. I'm not convinced that Khan, who I thought lost to Algieri, wins that fight. Right? I think Pacquiao would step forward and dare Khan to find him. Understand, Pacquiao's hard to find in the ring because he's shorter and he's offensive. It's not like the coast is clear and you're saying, where is Manny? No, bullets are flying at you. And here you have a short guy who's moving his upper body and who's jumping around the ring, throwing lethal left hands from way outside. Right? I'm not sure if Khan, whose neck is a bit frozen, will be prepared for that dynamic. So, let's just say I'm more eager to bet on some of the bets I mentioned here earlier than I am Khan Pacquiao. Don't get me wrong, that's a must-watch fight. That's a high-action fight. Right? Manny Pacquiao wouldn't want 2 losses in a row. Right? Pacquiao would have to show up big. Freddie Roach would feel that his credentials as a trainer would be at stake, right? Because you have a prodigal son coming home, right? For a fight against his former mentor, right? So let's just say Khan Pacquiao is a must-watch. Obviously, bets might make themselves there. In other words, if I hear that Pacquiao by KO is, a plus 700 or whatever, sign me up. You know what I'm saying. But let's just say there's a lot of uncertainty with that fight. Right? Khan Pacquiao is a tougher matchup, in my opinion, than Khan Mayweather. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. And let me just say this. I'm not hating on Mayweather. Obviously, I picked Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao. Right? But styles make fights. Let me hear from you. Reference any fight I've mentioned here. Victor Postol, Matthysse, Lemieux, Golovkin, Cotto, Canelo, Mayweather, Berto, Pacquiao. Hope to hear from you. Thanks for stopping by.